What's up, everybody? We are back with another tier list video. We have been working through a list of almost 100 luxury menswear fashion brands. We've been looking at just their latest collection or lookbook or whatever they have available, and we are stacking them up against one another. We've had some really surprising results so far. Last episode, we looked at a bunch of like outdoorsy kind of brands, and I don't know what we have in store today. I haven't looked at the list yet, but we're going to keep working through these luxury brands and see where they stack up in the year 2023. So let's get into it. All right, our list is getting stacked here. We've got the S tier, very thin, understandably so. A tier, a little bit fatter, twice as fat. The B and C, very heavy. Those are really filling out. And then we've got the Marshall's clearance rack, which is the stuff that you'd only buy on absolute rock bottom clearance. And then finally, you've got the Forbidden Dungeon, which only contains one brand right now. I'm sure it'll fill out as time goes on. But today, what do we have in store? First up, we have the brand C2H4. I'm not crazy familiar with them. It seems like a little bit punk, a little bit industrial techy. Maybe I could be totally wrong, but they've been picking up steam, so let's see what they've got going on. All right, no surprise, they do not have a Vogue runway page, so we're going to the lookbooks, to the website. Let's go. All right, C2H4 on Vestiaire Collective. No, that's where the fakes go. Grailed, some less fakes, and here's the official website. C2H4 Los Angeles. I'm curious if everything is made in LA. That's pretty important. But they do tend to be quite a bit cheaper, in my experience, than other luxury brands. Gallery, Special Project, Stockists, Careers. I'm going to assume it's the Gallery. 005 Future Yacht Club. What is that? Case, whatever, yacht. Is this like a capsule collection? What is this? I don't understand. So, okay, it's a lookbook. Is this the most recent lookbook? This is way different than anything else I've seen by them. Or quite a bit different, because if we go back to, like, Coherence, maybe this brand is way more sci-fi than I thought. You know what? Actually, it is looking fairly consistent, but with some slightly more punk elements. All right, Future Yacht Club it is. It appears to be the most recent. Space Yacht Club in the post-human era. Yeah, very, like, futuristic sci-fi. I thought this was, like, a punkish brand, but I guess it's more techy, future-y, sci-fi-y. So this, to me, looks a bit more like costume than fashion. Like what I'm seeing here, it's nice. I don't hate it. But yeah, this looks like a costume design for like a Gattaca sequel or something. You know that movie Gattaca? It's a good movie. Go watch that movie. It's good. I mean, it's very samey. Like, what do I make of this? The gold buttons, like, it's cute. It's whatever, but it doesn't do anything for me. This is interesting. Very, like, ripped open, weird denim jacket. Kind of reminds me of something like Y Project would do. Look at those boots. Hot damn. I like those. Slits in the jeans, too. This is a cool look. This is much cooler than anything else we've seen so far. That there's no clothes in that picture. Thank you very much. Is this like, this is a knit? Yeah, again with all the buttons all over. Like it's nice, it's sharp, it looks good. I like the cutouts here. Very like bodycon. This guy, it's a nice sweater. I don't hate it. I like the boots. I love a front zip boot. But it doesn't feel like it's doing anything incredibly new to me. Like, it's interesting, but what's the reason for this? It's like a collar and then the zipper happens. What's the purpose other than looking kind of futuristic? You know what I mean? And it feels very samey because it's very, like, conceptual. You know what I mean? Here are those boots. I fuck with the boots. And the men's, too. Look at those. Looks like some Vibram soles on that. Super, like, a rounded toe. There's like a knit going on underneath this jacket, which I would like to see more of, but we're not allowed to. Very frayed at the back. That's interesting. I wish we could see more of that. Trousers are cool too. Very baggy. We don't get anything more from that, and then it's over. It's kind of a bummer. I thought I liked this brand more than I do. Well, and what is it? We didn't even see this hat in there, or this like harness, I don't think. I don't know, I'm kind of disappointed, but we've got to base it off what we see. You know what I mean? So we got to go back to the rankings here. All right, my friends, C2H4. C2H4. It has a point of view. It has some sort of a design language. But I didn't feel anything. You know when you go to a museum and you look at a classic work of art and you're like, oh, I didn't know paint on a square thing could make me feel something. Yeah, clothes do that to me too sometimes. Hopefully they do to you as well, but that didn't do that to me. And I think that takes it out of the B, because I think to make it into B, the B tier here, you have to make me feel something, and I didn't. But I think it was better than a lot of these. I'd put it like right around the Alix level. Actually fairly similar too from like a I don't know, aesthetic perspective to Alix as well, so I think it fits in super well there. But just like very solidly C tier, definitely nothing more than that. I hope they do better in the future, because I have seen some individual cool pieces from them. But yeah, them's the breaks, you know what I mean? But now what we got to do is head on to Missoni. Missoni is like a heritage brand, you know what I mean? They have been around for a long time. They're expensive, they're luxury, but they're not like fashionable. They're not like in the new. They're not trying new things really. They're not in the fashion conversation, aside from like they did a collaboration with Palm Angels maybe like a year ago. But that's about it. So I don't know what they really do fashion-wise. So let's find out. I have to assume that they do have a runway page. Yes. And we've got spring 2023, and we've got menswear. I wasn't sure if we would get that, but I guess they do actively partake in runway shows, or this is more of like a lookbook maybe. Yeah, I think this is like lookbook kind of thing, but like a very straight-on lookbook, not super stylized. So, Missoni, they're very known for their knits. Both this zigzag pattern right here is a very famous one for the brand, as is this like black and white horizontal kind of zebra-y thing that you see underneath here. So both of those, the opening look has these two very classic Missoni prints. So they're leaning very, very heavily into the heritage side of things here rather than the fashion side. Like, I don't think any of this does anything special. Whoa, that's big. This is basically the Missoni version of like a tan GG monogram suit. Gucci, the GG monogram all over is to Gucci, as this is to Missoni. So this is nothing new. Really bad fit and really bad styling, unfortunately. More archival heritage prints. I do like how this curves up here. Like, the combination of these two pieces does show some interesting thought into styling, but I don't know, it kind of reminds me of like how Ferragamo has been for many years, where it's just like, this is luxury, therefore you should buy it. These deep V-necks are not like super fashionable right now, I wouldn't say. I would actually like them to be super deep if they were doing these preppy V-necks. The black and white is also just like, it's hyper patterned, and we're not really in like a hyper patterned era right now. Ugh. Speckled, like knit suit, all monochrome with the flip-flops, the like Birkenstock type things. It's just really bad from like a fashion perspective. What do you want me to say about this? And are these like sweatpants with a blazer, and everything's the same pattern? What are the shoes? The shoes, the most basic white shoes that have ever been made. Bro, what is this? Oh my god. This is really bad. This pattern mixing here into the black is... Ooh, that's so offensive. Whoa. I didn't know they were this bad. Holy crap. What do you want me to say about any of this? This, I think, is my favorite thing I've seen so far. Is it saying? That's not saying anything, though. My word. We're done. Whoa. Okay, Missoni. That was offensive. That was so bad. That's like one of those things that just amazes you that people spend money on it. You know what I mean? Like, what do people feel like they're getting out of that deal? Because they're not getting good-looking clothing. I'll tell you that. That's like the worst of the worst Marshall's clearance. You'd have to pay me to wear it. That's what it means when you're down here. God, that was bad, and I'm really glad I don't have to look at it anymore. So let's move on to JPG, Jean-Paul Gaultier, Gotye, somebody that I used to know. Gaultier? Gaultier. JPG. We'll go with that. So lately, JPG has been having guest designers come in. I think JPG stepped down or is like taking a back seat, and they've been handing over the brand to different designers. They handed it over to the designer from Sakai and Glenn Martins from Y Project and Diesel, so they keep, passing it along here. And it looks like they're only doing couture. So that means I don't know if there's any men. Look at that, the skip from 98 to 2019. So the most recent we have is fall 22. So I need to remind myself, was this the Sakai one? Or was this with somebody else? Oh, this was Olivier Rousting. I don't think I looked at this. So this is with the creative director of Balmain, who I have my issues with, even though every once in a while I like it. But this is going to be interesting. I also don't know if there's any men. Oh yeah, we're good. I'm really glad we have something to react to here. And we already have a lot to react to. My God. This is fashion overload. This is throwing spaghetti at a wall and seeing what sticks. So, you see Olivier playing with the JPG house codes. These, like, naval, like, nautical stripes. Some trompe-l'oeil kind of stuff. This skin-tight stuff. But this is just all of the ideas in one look. There's too much jewelry. It's overwhelming. Denim, stripes, pattern thing underneath. That's too much. I like the shirt. Let's get that out of the way. I like the top. But everything else is just too much. I think that's like kind of the idea, but it's not good. The boots are fire, though. Give me a big boot every day. Just give me boots. I like boots. Okay, moving on. I guess compared to the first one, this is slightly more digestible. Again, I really like this top. This, like, trompe-l'oeil, tearaway, striped pattern thing. It's very cool. And even the underwear, it's like that? Or no, I think that's part of the pants. It's all of a piece. And again, the open fly is also trompe-l'oeil. It's actually very cool. It's overloaded, but everything here actually makes sense, and I find it quite interesting. This one, when you look at it, everything fits together in a neater package, again, than the first one, even though it's still so much. God, all this trompe-l'oeil stuff is blowing my mind. It's super interesting. What does that say? Inclusivity or something on the shirt. I don't like the jewelry, though. It feels like the jewelry feels weird. I don't know. Ooh, in black, too? Damn, killing the boot game, okay? Now this one feels too simple. Just like the wrap dress, I think, is what does it for me. It feels... That's for me. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, the wraparound, it feels tossed off. It feels dumb. Ugh. Too much. So is this what we're going to get, or is it going to switch up at some point? The trompe-l'oeil on these is fire. A little bit too bohemian for me, but that's just like my personal taste. I know that there are people who like it. I think that's trompe-l'oeil as well. Dude. If you don't have trompe-l'oeil, like trick of the eye, like it's not actually there, it's not doing what it looks like it's doing. I can't do all these. All right, here's something different. Pinstriped collarless blazer. Cool. Nothing special, but cool. Yeah, we're getting into some more tailoring here. It's like this dress. It's a nice look. This one's kind of like punky, and I like that. Yeah, I don't know if I have too much more to say here. Whoa, oh, it just switched up like a bunch. But it's all women's wear. I don't know if we're going to get any more men. Women, I'm just going to go, if we see another man anytime soon, we'll talk about it, but I think that might be it. Okay, yeah, we're done. So I actually really like what JPG is doing by bringing in all these different modern designers to play with the house codes, and it's kind of like what Moncler did with the Genius series, except for JPG, it's all couture collections, so these designers can really put their all into it and craft like really crazy pieces and really creative pieces. Like it's not just commercial, you know what I mean? So I appreciate that, and I like what they're doing. But again, we're just basing it off that last collection. I can't go off the Glenn Martin's one or the Sakai one. I have to go off the Olivier Rousting one, who is just maybe like too much for me as a designer. But there was some really interesting stuff happening there. Yeah, it's B tier, and I liked it more than that Comme des Garçons collection, and more than the Valentino collection, more than Dior. Whoa, we're like getting right up into here. Yeah, that's perfect right there. Okay, I'm impressed. I like it. But now the question is, what's going on with Marc Jacobs? Kind of having like a resurgence lately between the mainline Marc Jacobs and the Heaven line. The diffusion line is killing it with like the Y2K thing right now. But let's see what mainline Marc Jacobs is looking like. I actually don't know if there's going to be men. So let's see. All right, Marc. It has its own subline. I don't think... Yeah, that's 2011. Okay, we're not looking at 2011. So do we have men in mainline Marc Jacobs? Fall 2022 ready to wear. I'm seeing a lot of women up here, but that may just be the cover images. All right, the most recent we have is fall 22. He hasn't done a 23 collection yet. I don't think we're going to get men in here. I'm seeing a lot of women. All right, yeah, I looked through it all. I don't think we can accurately judge this as menswear, so we're going to Essence. All right, they must stock Marc Jacobs, right? Marc. Oh, yeah. Here we are. Is it just sunglasses? You're killing me. Oh, beautiful. We did it. Okay. A lot of sunglasses, my lord. And very like feminine, gender fluid, whatever you want to call it. Ew, that cardigan. Look at the fit of that. Like the love handles off on the sides for the crop. That's no good. That's fine. Some knits, some logo pieces. The big cardigan, kind of logo mania type of stuff. Marc Jacobs has always been good with knits. This is a Marc Jacobs knit right here, based off the like old Kurt Cobain sweaters and stuff. Yeah, so you've got a lot of the basic branded stuff. That's kind of nice. Some track pants, some velvet trousers, but there isn't really much fashion here. That floral shirt, the fit's terrible, but that may be Essence's fault. And then we're into Heaven stuff. So this is the Y2K stuff. This shirt has been my favorite thing we've seen so far, honestly. yeah, the Heaven stuff is way more interesting than the mainline stuff. But man, I just think he doesn't do much men, which makes it hard to rate. And none of this is super interesting, so we got to base it off what we see, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Marc. I like you, but apparently you don't like me. All right, Marc Jacobs, also very solidly in the clearance section. I'm putting him like right around with Lanvin, Loverboy, and stuff like that. That seems fair, because I'm not like super offended by it. It's just like not super fashionable. You know, it's not taking many chances. I just don't find it that interesting. So we can move on from that to, this is going to be fun, Saint Laurent by Anthony Vaccarello. I've always enjoyed Saint Laurent stuff, but sometimes the vibe is just not quite what I'm looking for. Like, it's a little bit too like slimy for me, like that kind of like, I don't even know what you call it, like 70s LA, like rock and roll, where I'm looking for like a decade later, like hardcore punk, you know what I mean? And sometimes it's like right on that line. But let's see what Saint Laurent's up to. Okay. Spring 2023, menswear. Easy. I love it when they make it easy. And it's usually the big brands that make it easy because they do like 5 trillion collections of everything. Okay. So first off, interesting styling. This is like very Balenciaga to me in the shoulders and stuff. I guess, can you even call this Balenciaga-esque anymore? Because everyone's just started doing it because it was so popular. Maybe it's just like a modern fit. Double-breasted, huge pointed shoulders. I've owned a lot of vintage Yves Saint Laurent stuff over the years of buying and selling fashion. This is kind of a classic double-breasted kind of cut for Yves Saint Laurent. Pants are fine. Nice cut, slightly baggy. I like the look of the material. The thong sandals, they are what they are. Interesting with a suit, though. Okay. This just looks extremely comfortable. It kind of reminds me of when we were looking at the Row, where it just looked really well made, and like the materials were really good. I never really liked like a side stripe tuxedo pant. It just doesn't do it for me. Although again, the cut is very good, and these shoes, these patent high heel shoes with the pointed toe, are really nice. A lot of tailoring. The bare chest underneath the suit is a very modern kind of look, but like nothing too exciting. It's clean and it's classic in that modern, like Gucci, Saint Laurent kind of way, like chiffon, feminine, bow neck kind of thing. But like nothing is exciting me yet. It's a bit too simple. Yeah, like what do you want me to say about this? You know what I mean? And this, like once you get into this territory, this is when it starts feeling slimy, you know? But the loafers are nice. This is a change of pace. Again, this feels pretty like Balenciaga, though, in the fit, especially. Great coat, though. I would wear the hell out of it. Super long coat, more like military style. I don't really like that one. It's too skinny and long, I think. And the bare chest, again, it's like, you know, do something else. Are these real furs? Does Saint Laurent do real fur, or is all fake fur now? I wonder. Yeah, it's too slimy. Too slimy. I hope you're starting to understand what I mean now. Hello, Balenciaga again in those shoulders. Okay. Where's the excitement? You know what I mean? Give me something more. It's nice tailoring. I feel you. You're very good at tailoring. Great jacket, very Matrix Resurrections, you know what I mean? But I'm not seeing anything special here. All right, the punk is just starting to come in here. I like keeping the feminine quality with a more punk biker jacket. But then this is like very Balmain. I really don't like that. You know what I mean? Interesting pop of color. I didn't like the piece, but I appreciate the colors coming in. What's up, Timothy Chalamet? That's very much something that he would wear like in a red carpet kind of situation. I keep clicking through this hoping for something more, but it doesn't look like we're going to get it. Yeah, I think we're done here. All right, Saint Laurent. Interesting. It was all so well made and had a point of view and an aesthetic. I liked it, but I didn't love it. So it's better than the C tier. I think it's very clearly a B tier kind of collection, but more towards the bottom. Like, I'd put it like right around there in the same category as Valentino. I think that's super fair. And we can move on to Bode. Bode? I've heard people say it both ways. I say Bode, and I could be very wrong with that, but I just don't care enough to learn how to say it. But maybe I should care more. Let's find out. All right, do they do runway collections? They've at least done some. They have a Vogue runway page, but I'd be surprised if they're actively doing. Whoa! Hey, we got a lookbook. Perfect. All right, so Bode is like the epitome of, it's kind of twee. You know, it kind of reminds me of like a Portlandia sketch or something. That's the vibe I get. It's kind of like Rude, if Rude was for people who make birdhouses. That's kind of the vibe. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's look at this. What to make of this? I'm sure this is made with some like really cool 1960s like baby blanket. That's kind of the vibe. Some above the knee shorts. I don't know what to say about it. You know what I mean? Like, they're definitely doing their own thing. But like this very, very, it is self-consciously vintaged. You know what I mean? Like this pattern, it's just so vintage. The material, it looks very vintage. Even like these old tassels or whatever these are coming off the wrist. Very kind of like Tom Brownish kind of thing. The loafers, a bit too simple for my tastes. Trousers have a decent fit. At least the fit's good, you know? You know what? It's just like they're making clothes that I think you really, really could get these exact looks by just going to a thrift store. Like I said, I've thrifted tons of old, like, Saint Laurent and Dior and brands like this. If you just went and grabbed those, you could make these looks very easily for much, much less than Bode charges. Oh, it's just so cute with the horses. I guess I just don't do cute, maybe. I know I'm being a hater right now. I just don't like to look at it. This is kind of fun. You know what it is? This is what I missed earlier when I was saying twee. It feels like a Wes Anderson movie. And this one feels so much like a Wes Anderson movie that I kind of like it a bit more. But it still doesn't do anything for me. Like, this is really nice. I'm sure it's comfortable. It looks really cool, but I've seen it at the thrift store 100 times. And not like cheap stuff, you know, like it'll be vintage, made in the USA, of like actual good materials and stuff. It's not hard to find. Like, the world didn't need this, I don't think. Not that the world needs a lot of fashion brands. That's pretty cool. Sequin, super sequin type of thing. Yeah, but I'm done. I'm sorry, I'm biased on this one. This type of brand, this type of look, just doesn't do it for me. All right, so Bode. For me personally, I, as an individual, would put this in the clearance section. But I recognize that they're better than that. I can't be that biased. You know what I mean? Like, I'd put it in the same tier as some of this stuff down here, like the Casablanca Marine Serre kind of tier, where it's just like, I get it, and you're talented. It's just, I don't think it's very good, or at least this collection wasn't. Let's move on. Oh, I can't wait to talk about Alexander Wang. I've heard he's a great person. Go search my channel for Alexander Wang videos if you want to know the story on that. It's not good, but he's back. He's making clothes, so let's see what he's making. So I don't know if Alexander Wang is doing menswear. I actually don't. We've got fall 22 ready to wear. It might be all women. And I don't think he has that many stockists anymore. It's actually a great question. I don't know if he does any menswear anymore. There's definitely none here. I guess maybe let's go to his website. I hate that I'm about to give him a click to his website, but let's go. All right, Alexander Wang, U.S. official site. Yeah, this is kind of the vibe right now, you know? It's very sexualized, very, like, sporty. That's where he's going. We've got women and then unisex. So there is not explicitly any menswear, but let's see what the unisex has in store. At least, okay, he does use male models at least. A bunch of t-shirts, New York. Why anybody would pay $225 for this is insane to me. Let's go! Oh, that's so cringe. Even the font. Oof. What is this? Who would pay for this? I mean, of course it's on sale to $150. That I can understand. Everything's on sale. It's a bunch of t-shirts and a terrible looking vest. My lord. This looks like if I went to the like American Apparel website. This isn't fashion. You know what I mean? Hey, track jackets, quarter zips with the same thing. At least like trying something interesting with the fit on this, on the sleeves, super like bubbly sleeves, you know what I mean? But geez, that's terrible. I can't do this. All right, we're done here. All right, Alexander Wang. I'm happy to say, because I was really hoping that wasn't going to be good, and I'd have to like make a compromise here. So Alexander Wang, because he's a terrible, terrible person, goes right into the forbidden dungeon. You're in the dungeon, Alexander. You're in my dungeon, and you're going to stay there, okay? Because it's where you deserve to be. All right, let's do one more before we close it out for today. Isabel Marant, French designer, I think. I've not been a fan in the past, but maybe she's killing it. Let's see what's up. I don't know if we're going to have any menswear. We've got, oh wait, Spring 23 menswear. No crap. Pfft, that pattern is terrible. That's what you picked to be your cover image, huh? That's brutal. The sneakers are really bad too. Man. All denim is very in right now. I actually don't hate like the style of that logo at the back. Very like 90s, 2000 style. This bleach wash is cool on the t-shirt. Kind of Balenciaga vibes from a few seasons ago on these like nylon track pants. That looks not terrible. Ugh. That is though. That's like bad diesel, you know? Oh, that's a nice knit. Nice thick knit. I like the dye. So this is very much going into like a kind of 90s hippie kind of direction. Just the worst kind of logo piece with a bucket hat and some like tree camo shorts. That's a terrible look. That's also a terrible look. Kind of like a nice-ish leather jacket, but kind of feels like something you'd find on like Shein or something that would show up and not look anything like that. That's kind of the vibe it gives me. But yeah, this is very like Shein product photo, you know? He's on the motorbike, the dirt bike. Very sporty kind of jacket. Again, very 90s. What do we got going on here? Oh, man. This Where's Waldo thing is kind of fun down the sleeve, but I hate the body of it. Oof, that's bad. That's worse. All right, we're done. All right, I guess I'm just like a hater today, or we've just got the right order of things or the wrong order, depending on how you look at it. But that was very not good. There were a couple savings grace, 3 days grace, but is it C tier or is it clearance tier? I at least see in a lot of these C tier brands where they could turn it around and get good. But I just don't see like the silver lining for Isabel Marant, even though if every once in a while there's a piece that I'm like, it's fine. Even some of these there are saving graces for. I think it's like right in the same tier as Jacquemus. I think we're going to leave it there. Hopefully we'll get into some better stuff next time, but there were a lot of disappointments today. But that's what we do. We're laying it out. These are the tiers. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.